The sanity does not get dumped until I run out of sanity to dump, until there's that video where just, you know, I have nothing to say, but I default into talking about fucking candy that I have. I'll look into my candy collection. The moment I look into my candy collection is game over, basically. All right? I'm trying to decide if this is a color or not, and it pisses me off. Why? This showed up on my feed, bro. It's so scary. Is this color, man? So again, I have to finish this, all of this, and talk about it, potentially. Who knows what's gonna happen? I don't want to just consume content and then not be able to fucking operate and feel good about it. Technically, I already uploaded enough content, so I don't want to worry about it anymore either. I can relax, right? I don't know. We'll see. That's the whole fucking point of Sanity Dump. I have to be trigger ready while I consume content and nothing. I do literally nothing else. I have to be trigger ready to respond to anything that goes on. Right now, the only thing that's going on is people ask stupid questions. What's your problem? I want to be stupid now because nothing's gonna happen to me. Well, first of all, there's a very simple thing that can happen. I'm gonna show you everyone in this fucking as a viewer. This can happen. All right. You have an account that is 5 years old. So, very likely scenario, you can create an account when you're 10 years old in a way. And now, you're 15. So basically, we can speculate what your age is. You know, PewDiePie has joked about 9-year-olds, and we can, sort of determine. And we can determine your location. Yes, well, and your location loses reputation if you talk bullshit or things that are disrespectful, or you just don't respect yourself and don't imagine that the world cares about you, because the world can care. You have to, double check that you're not in the wrong here. This guy's a little bit older. Look at this guy, man. He's actually 17. So he's like, huh? What is that? What is this bully? I hope this bully is like way older, but he's not. What is your problem? I don't want to lose my Roblox account. What am I going to do without my Roblox? Now he's playing shooter games, am I right? This little boy. So yeah, I give the common understanding of like 10 years plus whatever your age of the account is. If you look into my account, because you would very much want to do that, my country cannot lose a reputation when it doesn't have any, so that's a pretty good start. At 13 years, so I would be 23 years old. No, 15 years. So I would be 25 years old in my calculation, which is pretty accurate, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say my age just for the tease purposes, but it's good. I want to see who's gonna be the first one to figure out my age, and then I attack him as much as possible. For doing so. I want to become YouTube CEO before people start figuring things out, because it's just disrespectful to stalk me to such an extreme level where you're never gonna meet me anyways. So what's the point again? Yeah, doxing is disrespectful. Is the most basic thing. Because like, what the fuck you care? Why you bother? We have reached 60,000 views. I can't wait to get 100,000 one day. That would be cool. But and we will always know when it's gonna happen, because only when videos get viral they get more than 30 views. Only then, when they get viral. So we will not win this. We will not eat 40,000 views by eating cookies. We need We need good meals. And we need to party hard to reach that. Yeah, and then she brings me to fucking friends. No one likes friends anymore, bro. Go away. But everyone goes to friends though. To make frenemies, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, makes some sense. Again, the only weird interaction on Instagram that I got, passive aggressive basically, which is similar to whatever this is, came from fucking French cosplayer that I followed. Like that's weird to me. It's just weird. Oh, now she's just fucking, yeah, yeah, ingraining the memory, just dancing around. Thank you. I don't like it though. Yeah, now she's eating something. Is that even food? What are you doing, bro? I guess sanity is gonna be a new thing that I'm... New channel idea, bro. There you go, that I summon sometimes. Meaning it's connected to me, so let's bring it to life. Kill it and then bring it to life. 300. Gonna take a while. Boo, 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 boo. Yes, it's just a child playing, because I've played with nuclear weapons, now I want to play with normal toys sometimes, in public, on the streets of YouTube. You know, you can walk around me all you want, as long as I know for a fact you can't fucking hurt me. And that's nice. That's public. But actual public? Bro, the moment you offend someone, they're gonna fucking flock the shit out of you. They're gonna fucking attach like leeches. You can't fucking offend anyone in public. And you know when shit is going wrong, when you cannot offend people. If that's a bad thing to do somehow, the society's fucked, bro. You can't do shit then. All right? You cannot do the most human thing is be offensive as much as you want, which is reminds me that in our sanity dump or sanity series we have to check on Mark Passio. This is gonna be a long day, boys. A long fucking day of going to the max. Going max pain in terms of the amount of videos I'm uploading. Potentially I would need a separate channel for any of my good ideas, but my bad ideas are gonna stay in my main channel, and my bad idea is to sanity dump for as long as it takes. So Mark Passio didn't show up a little bit longer than expected, but whatever. I still haven't watched the whole things, so he's... And maybe he would... I don't know. We'll see. There's 3 episodes I didn't check at all, it seems like. Yeah, so much work yet to do. In public. Because, do I feel offended? Why do I need sanity dump, right? Alright, we can, first of all, then work on that first. Why do I need it? I have all the options. It's like fucking putting up a robot suit, and now I will explain you guys how this operation is gonna work. Alright? It's almost like it's natural. I dreamed about this. Now in the robot suit, just doing random things that I like because I have so much power. And all you have to do is move if you don't like, and come closer if you do like. That's how sanity dump works, guys. It's war. It's a very passive-aggressive war. A passive-aggressive war is a war of self-defense. You can imagine. Alright. Passive aggression is not violence at all. Alright? You just sit there and you're annoyed. Oh, someone... Alright, he showed up in a very weird time. It is not a coincidence that I, you know, send this notification and he received it. Because you didn't silence my Discord. But he didn't receive any other notifications somehow. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting how you can appear nice, but not be so nice deep down. So I need to be able to react to things that happen while I do everything. There's a lot of moving parts. I could be fucking thrown into a whole fucking another galaxy. Just reacting. I don't know how much I want to consume Mark Passio. So we also have to like... This is like super, super flexible state of content. Where I'm just simply like reporting my experience if it happens. All right. But I'm trying to calm down and make sure nothing happens. You know, best case scenario, nothing happens. Worst case, it's not 1 hour single video. You know, I might have to make more videos despite already deciding on the, you know, package of content that I'll be watching, right? In a way, I have to like test my awareness to be able to say something, but not needing to say something. So potentially every hour I have to double check if I can consume a candy. All right, I just have to double check that my bodily functions are all right. This is again a state of war, a state of passive aggression, where you're not supposed to come near me. You're not supposed to fucking deal with me. Yeah, the spiritual war is quite something, I'm not gonna lie. I'm always suspicious, but I'll just leave 3 dots. I can react to something, or I have to test my awareness every hour, it seems like. Maybe even every 30 minutes. I don't know. So, right now we're at 11:20. I will test. I mean, every hour is nice. Every hour, because I could be doing anything, but I still have to test my sanity and dump it. So I'm like, I can relax. I don't have to be sane all the time. I can do crazy things, right? But now I have to like be in heightened alertness just as a test. Technically, this whole video is a test-ish, but I have so much content that I have to walk through. So it's not a test. It's an actual function that I have to go through. And it's a test because it's the 2nd episode. That's what symbolizes it as a test. To activate sanity dump, I can make a calculation, which is optional, but the calculation is how many tabs do I have to go through. All right, some tabs don't actually matter that much, but I'll pull this one in because this is random. All right, random tabs plus day ruined times 3. So if someone completely ruins my day and I have something else to do, which is perfect, we're gonna have 10 points. We need 10 points. So I have like 15 tabs open, and my day has been ruined once. I have about 18 points to work with. I could like multiply. I could make it more complicated, but let's not do that right now. That's the calculation. All right. We're working with 18 points. We have to bring it down at least to like 3. So once it's active, we can't do anything else until we bring this to 3. At least 3. 3 things that I can just dispose for the future. Maybe it evolves into different videos. Technically, I could just say 0. But 3 is the point. Meaning that I will also have to have sleep during this. Alright? Or finish all the projects. If someone ruined my day, it only goes away next day. Alright? So Sanity Dump is going to continue and generate content until the next day comes and I have nothing to do. Alright? Sanity Dump basic, I mean, no, it's still active and only disabled at 3. 3, because 4 is a magical number where things start working all of a sudden. 4 is weird. The obvious reason to have Sanity Dump is to just offload thoughts, pack it into a video, and prove people that I have been doing something while I have been completely relaxing myself because there's too much work. So now I have to just slow down, and it will accelerate automatically when I get bored of doing the same thing potentially, right? So if you have too much work, now you can just relax actually. Too much work sometimes is fascinating. Too much work sounds like a holiday to me. That's what a holiday truly is defined with. When you're blessed with so much work that it's holy now. Yeah. Blessed with work. Let's go. That's how you take the holiday. Not to run away from your problems, but to accept it as the greatest thing that ever happened to you. Because you have so many things to do. I cannot possibly even focus on YouTube Rewind. Even. I can't even do that. But I will try. You know, try. I have to improve the plan potentially. Just when I activate Sanity Dump, I have to double check every day at least if YouTube Rewind is not being pushed away into oblivion. All right, so as holy as it is, YouTube Rewind is always a priority to check. Not to complete, obviously, but to check upon. I will still have to like simplify it and maybe test on October or November. On November, I could try and start testing different versions of YouTube Rewind, and whichever version people like, I will just put a little bit more work around it. You know, the last week or something. There could be a very interesting strategy behind it, right? So I think that should be the plan. Because I can just talk about, I don't need animations, I don't need crazy graphics and sounds and all that stuff. I can just let people decide what version is like the most appropriate, what do they click on, and all that shit. And we just embrace that version. Just fill it up with content and stuff. All right. And I could just use the previous YouTube Rewind for reference, but it's going to be different. So I'm not sure. I want to see which version. It does matter how many views I get. I need to get viral on YouTube Rewind. I want to trigger as many people to care about the video as possible. So I need the sweet spot of time, the sweet spot of things that you see on the screen, that how much people allow me to narrate the video. I need to find the sweet spot for everything. So I'll be releasing a lot of weird shit. Potentially I should just make a YouTube Rewind test channel, because this is just absolute dumpster of what's gonna happen. But what I'm probably just gonna I can probably misuse on November Ignorito channel, which is a place where you have to ignore the channel as much as possible. So no stupid version gets fucking elected, but it is what it is. We'll see. I just can't really use Ignorito channel unless I make short videos. So I'm capped at like 5 minutes, which is annoying. That's YouTube Rewind is probably gonna be a fucking hour-long movie experience. Like it's not what you think. Maybe 20 minutes minimum. I can't squeeze enough value in less than 20 minutes. I can't just make people dance and pretend that it's content. I don't see YouTube Rewind working that way. I just don't have enough, resources to actually elevate it to a proper level. So each time, or each sanity dump video, I have to at least double check on YouTube Rewind, because we're not gonna focus on that too much. And that might be a problem. We might forget about it a little bit. But this kind of happens too often with other videos too. It's just a general rule to check every single day if I can improve something, if I can apply my perspective, because every day is different. And I want different things to not be bored. Yeah. It's the worst thing that could happen to you. Something bad is happening, but you're still trying to make a YouTube video. And the something that's bad is happening is going to encapsulate you. Slowly fucking destroy everything around you while you're just sitting there focusing on trying to do something, right? That's the feeling that I have. Which is why I have to activate self-defense mode. Even harder. It's not going to happen to anyone specifically, but spiritually, it will be constantly an experience that people will have, and they will lose sanity because of that. You have to be prepared to face a lot of weird things in life. And the first thing is weird feelings. Knowing that something crazy can happen. The weirdest feeling that I had recently right now is fucking thinking about Russia, because I got a TikTok. Russia is cutting off Ukraine. And is gonna, hinder wheat supply or some bullshit like that. And the rest of the world is gonna starve because of that. So, that's kind of, indirect, another declaration of aggression in a way. But it's funny. In the spiritual world, you can almost switch blame. It's Putin doing that. Who's Putin? And it's like he could switch places with the most honorable person in this world. It could be me as well. I have to switch my attention. If I say fucking magic words, maybe fucking bad things will happen, so I have to focus on what the fuck Putin is capable of, so he stopped. Because he's probably capable of doing more spiritual damage than actual real damage. His country's not real. It's like a fake country, barely existing. I really want to do a piece about Russia, which is the idea of the worst person can do the worst things imaginable and then just switch places with someone else. He can just elect someone else and just run away like Hitler and just disappear into nowhere. His body's not to be found. You know, that's how the evil people actually operates. They try to escape, basically. And the only way he can actually, you know, in order to be moral, I have to be looking quite evil. And most people would just dump their evil things onto me as well. So it's like very fucking tricky situation going on. Like, I have to feel like I'm evil all the time in order to just be nice to people or something. I mean, for fuck's sake, just to control myself. That is annoying, bro. I'm not the evil one, unfortunately. I'm doing everything I can to defend myself with the tools that I have. I'm using them to the maximum extent. If Gotham Chess wants to do maximum extent of using his content aggressively, he has to sacrifice all the rooks first of all, and then just do nonsense across the chessboard. He just has to find freedom where he's locked in place. He still has to find freedom. Because the moment your moves are predictable, you're not that dangerous of a person anymore. By the way, guys, I discover a new way of emoting, right? You can add an emote here in the end of your text, like this guy's doing, which is not even an emote, by the way. It's kind of disrespectful to Discord in general, but, you know. It is a coping mechanism. It sometimes turns into this whatever pokey thing. It's very pokey at that point, making you he's trying to rationalize this thing, but if you just leave it in every single text, it loses its meaning and becomes kind of hostile, because you cannot feel the same emotion all the time. And this is not a good emotion. This is a mockery emotion if you use it too often. Because not everything you say is a fucking joke. Unless it is. Unless it is a joke. Then you're gonna be a joke. It's just how it works. You know, you have fun with someone, then you have to battle them. And put them down to rest. And see if they retire peacefully. It's just how it works. The cycle of life. More reasonable people fucking rolled up after nonsense questions, bro. Well, this is still a nonsense one, but look at you standing up for Sniper Wolf. Look at this shit, bro. However, still a very young account. What is this guy up to? I don't want to believe what you just said. Oh no, you're old enough to believe things. Quick, get him out of here. He will explode. Usually when I force people to watch a video, it just comes back to life. So it's no coincidence, I don't think, that when I started talking with these idiots and promoting my channel, that my shit just spiking right now. It's annoying, part of being a YouTuber. Am I right? Reacting, sparking drama everywhere. I mean, it kind of is sensible. You have to be in communities of some kinds and dominate those communities. But I don't really have anywhere to go. I didn't went anywhere naturally, so I just sit here and throw sparkles, whatever, whenever I feel it's appropriate on YouTube itself. Which is quite dangerous, because if people don't like you, they can report you. But is what it is, man. report your comment for being fucking abusive or some bullshit like that. So you must not step out of line for the most part. But don't also expect that people are going to be organized. So you're nice at the start, but you don't have to be nice going deeper into it. Often people are just going to break rules themselves. So who's the bigger asshole, right? Pick and choose, boys. Anyways. More sanity. Way. Sanity is going to be alive very soon, 15%. Another thing I suggest if you're sparking drama is to not allow people to circle around you. Also, this got intermingled, unfortunately, but I hope I gave a interesting response. I don't have to worry about it. People are not respectful or honorable. So just an interesting response is good enough. You don't even have to be honest with not honorable people. What else do we have? We have 15. So you have to constantly monitor if the amount of comments actually align with the amount of replies. I believe the comments are 6. So you multiply by 2, it should be 12. If it goes beyond, like, if it becomes 3 times more replies than you recognize, then, which kind of looks like that right now. Maybe 4 times. 4 times. Then you have to sprinkle in even more replies, just to make things more interesting. So you double check, you open the whole fucking thing up, and find rats. You know, there's this fucking person. Let's respect, you know. Shut up. You control whether their comment exists. I could do that. But he said the magical word respect. Looks like I have to fire my lasers a little bit. Not very good. Yeah, so basically the idea is you have to double check if you smell a rat. Alright? Double check. In my case, if people pay attention to me, I have comeback upon a comeback. I have not expressed myself to that person. So I have a spit in my mouth at all times. I could just flood Sanity Machine by making Sanity War Machine, basically. I rename my series entirely in the Sanity War Machine, and then it's like, oh, oops. I guess I stole your credit score. You don't have that name anymore. I guess I used it. Please cry about it. Copy strike me, bro. Sue me. LOL.
To portray the protagonist, Officer Jack Traven, they can be by a terrorist to explode if its speed falls below 50 miles per hour.
Honestly, I feel kind of similar. Interesting. I mean, Keanu Reeves is my personality. Just straight up, if you want to get familiar with my power moves, you can learn from Keanu very easily of my strengths and weaknesses. There's probably some additional calculation you can add. Additionally, I've skipped 2 days without upload, which is probably pretty bad in my case, because I have to be really, really active all the time. I just got glitched into fucking dysfunctional behavior, I would say. I'm not saying it's a big deal, it's just, you know, I can add this to the calculation Not sure what else I can add though. But you know, as a burden, calculation of burden. Normally it's just tabs and days ruined. However, if I use this, I can start summoning buttons, you know, burden, and name it a burden of some kind, and then keep stacking these. I will start doing that when this entire thing can be moved around, where I can find empty space. It's gonna turn like into a world of buttons. And maybe someday it's gonna be 3D worlds of buttons, which would be ridiculous, but it's possible. It's very much possible. It's almost like making a button smaller and bigger is a three-dimensional, you know, move that I'm making anyways. Very interesting.
Of the night.
Also, if I'm doing sanity dump, shit, what the fuck? I used the dark spaces. Well, it makes sense, but it's wrong. Maybe it's right. I don't know. It is still just dark space, and not the actual last thumbnail. I can sit there, you know, and just sit there. You know, you come out of Disney and then you look like this. You look terrible. And you come out of the beautiful world and face the reality. Holy shit, bro. You have to immediately weaponize yourself with, I'm actually not attractive. Actually, please leave me alone. You know, and you don't know how to tell that to people, so you tell it in every way possible. Some people find the way to break through, but you have to appreciate the difficulty, or the vibe at least. I might be wrong, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm wrong. I feel like Dove is like super cool person. So, one thing that is gonna happen, I potentially have the 18 things that I want to do, but it's gonna branch into more things. Plus. Just gonna collect things, basically, as I progress. Right, it could be a tree of new things to do, unfortunately. So it could evolve into like 30 things to do, whatever. Which symbolizes that, you know, it could be a never-ending progress of me trying to dump sanity, but it's growing into like a monster. Which hopefully is just a tree and nothing too crazy, but this thing is growing and touching a lot of subjects that I wouldn't be able to actually touch in separate videos, right? So that's another thing. Sanity, or SD. Let's do or S and then or D to understand that this is what we're talking about. SD is a way to branch to unreachable token topics, and it can get out of control, which I completely appreciate. This turned into a fucking flag. Thank you very much. Son of a... What? Do I have to, like, SD? What do I have to do to avoid the flagging? Or... shit. Please. Can I do that, please? Okay. It's a disgusting thing, but... maybe... it doesn't matter what character you put, you will not get emojis. Has that point. I believe. Yeah, you don't get emojis. So it's almost like I need a gap here as well. Or I need a gap in general. Can that work? Okay, gap works. You need to leave a gap. So sanity doesn't turn into a flag. What the fuck? Saudi Arabia, am I right? It's actually Sudan flag. How annoying. I don't even know what that flag is. And it just summons it. So annoying. That's pretty smart. The bus full of people that would explode. Like, there's no escape. Unless you, like, destroy some kind of passage.
Looks when they're
And it's still, like, very difficult to do when you can't stop. Like, this is fucking genius move. I don't know. You can't escape. But you can sort of, like, jump out. Sort of. You have to, like, find a really good place to do that, though. 50... Still gotta fucking save your... How... I don't know if I want to spoil myself. I've never seen it. When Sanity's activated, all access stuff goes to Sanity Dump. This is why it's gonna be called Sanity Dump. Because that's where it's getting points from. Normally, because I'm sitting here doing nothing. We can eat a candy to see if everything's fine. Wow, you can get away with so many bad things. That's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit too sentimental because it did struck someone. It's weird. It's kind of glitchy. Also, it was a very stormy period. That is really powerful. Being afraid of love? Jesus. And that's what how most people operate. That is the scariest thing. That is so good that it's actually like fucking legendary, bro. Let's give it a crown. Do I have a jewel in there? I don't have a diamond. This is the diamond. This is gem, right? I'll favor it. Some diamonds. Another number to keep in mind of is this little buddy. Because things can get really, really hot when I'm doing sanity dump. Things can accelerate really fast. Because I'm paying attention and I'm very, very busy. Alright? And I don't have to talk too much and suck in my own, credit. So, I can just, branch off in so many different subjects and light them up a little bit. And I'm just moving around everywhere. I don't have to focus on anything. One day I'll even have bullets, basically. A bullet, I can do it right now. Sniper is actually twisting everyone into drama. She will credit people, but in exchange of Jack's channel, and I can log this and then copy it whenever I want, copy and paste it if I want to. Now, I don't actually want to, but it's just a thing I will be able to do. Just stack up some bullets, man, instead of actual replies. Because you don't deserve too many replies. I'm not gonna lie. You don't actually deserve that. Sometimes I have to just stock up and pretend that I'm not actually talking to you, but I'm actually talking to you. Yeah, in private at least. In Discord, you can just DM people messages that you will just unleash in public anyways. So in order not to flood the chat and look like an asshole, You probably don't want to do this. I don't mind too much. I want to see what happens in general if I do that. But yeah, probably a good idea is just to appear normal, but in DMs. And if someone blocks you, then you just vomit in public immediately. No big deal. If someone blocks you, you hate them for doing that. Now you're weird and you have a good reason to do that. Very interesting stuff. I want automatic scrolling, and I can actually do that with a copy and paste. Can you imagine? So now the command, if I do Q in double right, I will go right. Double left, go left. If I smash left and right into each other, I will go down because I have conflict. I have to go down. And the opposite happens when you go separate ways. Then you go up because you find space. So funny. So funny how you can create all directions with 2 arrows and not necessarily 4. Alright. So let's see if it works. Shit. I'm still not confident about this though. It should work, right? Q. And smash the arrows together. And now we're going down, boys. I need to speed up the process, obviously. How you like that, baby? Look at that shit. We're zooming. Finally. No need to press a bunch of buttons. I even wanted to, like, page down myself so I can control how much page down actually does, but this is just automated. I can just click on whatever I like when it lands on it. Fuck yeah, bro. Also, another point is that you will know when I'm doing sanity dump that the content quality is not exactly the best. It's not prepared or scripted or a good idea in general. It's just completely random. The worst feeling you can have, and I even hate to share this, but like, the flu strike. Alright, I even need a name for that because spiritually is like, ugh, disgusting, bro. Like food, but like, in any way, fucking create a flu strike, or I see a flu strike. This is this. I don't know how Ethan got sucked into this, but it feels like he's receiving a flu strike, bro.
You're priceless.
Dude, I'd be offended too. That's my dead dad's stuff.
Yeah, I think you're the joke. Because you're reacting, you're jumping into the pool of, now you just twisted in reality. Dead stuff. I don't know. I don't know which way it goes until it unentangles, but this is pretty weird.
We're not likable.
It is important to not overshare your welcome, overstate your welcome. Whatever you receive, you have to reply to, obviously, in self-defense or in terms of care. You can double it if you care really much, but it's just a general idea, general good idea. Why is that? If I want to, get skills, then of course I can do whatever I want. Whatever I want to test, that is, But when it comes to, like, actually regulating, like, you don't want to create too much noise, you don't want to make things confusing, you don't want to throw a brick of text that will be ignored. You're just trying to, balance things out. You received something, you bounce back. That's the conversation, right? However, I mean, so when it comes to effort, like effort is like the most important thing. Effort is the way to understand everything, or power of a person. Usually we can just call it influence, but most people don't have influence until they explode, the last moment, right? So effort is the way to actually detect and understand it. And if you just explode, it's not really gonna make an impact. The way effort works, it stacks. You can turn yourself into an actual bomb and actually threaten people, and you will be disarmed, but your threat might actually make an impact at that point. Or you may not be disarmed because you're just a decoy. You know, if people try to disarm you, now you have hostages. I mean, there's a lot you can do in the evil, twisted ways, which I just can't allow myself to do because I'm a honest person. But if you can't be honest, you can be honest in more violent ways, and that's okay. It's just don't be annoying, right? It's very easy to make enemies outside of your focus of goals, right? And that's a very, very quick way to lose sanity. All right. But otherwise, enemies are your best friends because you get to focus on something. I mean, you get to live longer as long as you're not bored, as long as some crazy things are happening. But the moment enemies are in the shadows and they're still your enemies, they're quite dangerous, unfortunately. You can't keep enemies in the shadows. That is the thing, right? That is the principle behind this idea. If a person wants to be in the shadows, he doesn't even exist. All right? He's gonna find his own enemies and will be consumed by the shadows. If an enemy is hiding in the shadows and is just waiting for you to respond, it's a whole different dynamic. All right? Basically, they're taking shadow damage and they're going to be very frustrated that you don't respond. It often happens in relationships. If you like reject someone, you push someone into the shadows, and they try to contact you in different ways, they can get increasingly more frustrated. And energy matters, all right? If you can accumulate energy and unleash it when, you know, I get to open the door and whatnot to you by accident sometimes. You know, maybe I mix up people. Maybe you find me on the streets and you unleash your anger. It could end pretty badly for anyone who has enemies like that, who has cunning enemies. But yeah, you can definitely block idiots. There's no big deal of blocking the fucking losers. You might want to unblock them eventually, especially in Europe, where people can't move around easily. I mean, maybe people will learn their lessons. I don't know. There's a lot of things I haven't explored yet. You can't look at me like Sanity Dump is pretty intense. If things intensify, you simply because I'm like open for anything to happen, but I'm still making a video. And it actually invites a lot of weird things, potentially. We'll see, right? I'm speculating on this one, but it's weird. And also it can invite just a mix of things, right? That I usually wouldn't mix certain type of content. Like Mark Passius opened up here, but he's like, and, you know, I have a date ongoing in a way. I don't know. It's a weird mix of content, I would say. Again, it's very disgusting where people have turned on the flu strike in their brain, basically thinking that they're gonna lust towards something to die, basically. It's just lusting for someone to die, and you will get an advantage over that. It's also lust for someone to die or, you know, get canceled in a way. It's a, you know, indirect way of saying die, and you wouldn't fucking be bothered anymore. But obviously it would be pretty nasty. It's just there's different ecosystems, and dying on YouTube means you lose all your reputation. You say your fucking apology video. It's like people are just fucking you know, rubbing their hands basically in anticipation, not knowing that everything can turn around to bite their asses instead, that they're not immune. Sanity is officially online. Congratulations. 24%, not bad. Sanity dump is also a very weird tactic, basically. I'm working, but not really. Don't have to focus too hard. Just walk around, just do things, whatever. It's very interesting as well. It kind of brings me back to UK when I was in Princess Factory. It felt like I was just there for the sanity. I wasn't really doing any work. Some magical way. It was weird. But obviously, first few days. But then it just got on. Then it just exploded. It was weird, man. I was just walking around there and like doing nothing for so long. The best way to get training is to work very, very hard at the start, and then you kind of like ease away, maybe even you know, shave a few hours, maybe your breaks are longer, you relax because you know what you're doing, and it takes much less effort. This is how it's supposed to make sense. And if you want to get paid more, work harder. Now that you've shaved off some free time that you can use and sell even more of it. It's weird the way everything works right now. Because it feels like, you know, because of minimum wage, people are trying to take advantage of the newbies, and at the same time hoping that the newbies are going to be very skilled workers. And it's just such a crisis, basically, such a twisted crisis where there's not enough jobs, there's not enough productivity going on. It's just kind of messed up. And well, people are still being taken advantage of. Minimum wage is not, yeah, like people coined out the term maximum wage, and I'm like, yep, that would be pretty legit thing. Just because you're an inventor of something doesn't mean people have to work for you specifically. Doesn't mean you hold the ropes. And that idea, the ideology has to be dismantled. The management ideology, like, and another thing that has been told is like, management positions are like the easiest thing to replace with AI. And that shit just fucking hit me hard. The most replaceable thing with AI, because management is just generating important ideas of what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go, where you're supposed to find free space, and work. Like it's just gonna explain you everything. So what the fuck are managers for anymore? If AI starts kicking rich people in the balls as it should, then we're gonna see some really epic changes in the world. And that's sanity number 2. How much sanity dump we have left? Plenty, boys. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mark Passio and this are like just bonuses. Something for me to do. So it's always going to be a bonus to watch Mark Passio. That could just, you know, demote itself suddenly into being a bonus. So it's kind of like 8 plus, you know, my mom ruined my day. Do I have to explain it? Well, the renovation is a terrible idea, but she still is willing to pay for it. And any willingness to comply to this nonsense is going to bring us back to poverty, absolute poverty. And we have to just declare war against this nonsense, because they're doing it in a very sneaky way of like everyone else is renovating their places. I don't know their stories. I'm not interconnected. I'm not supposed to go out there and do extra work. All right? If you want my money, give me ways to earn money, and then we're going to talk about what you get out of that. But otherwise, I just want to spend it the way I want, and it doesn't matter who votes for what. It doesn't fucking matter. You can't just tax randomly just because people voted to tax themselves. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Renovation, bro. For something useless that I'm not thinking about at all. I'm not needing it. And it got so twisted, out of control. But my mom still fucking supports the idea. As if she has friends, as if she has support system besides me, right? Like, the only thing you get as a support system is fucking running water, electricity, bro. And you still have to pay for it, right? It's fucking disgusting. So, we'll see. It will go away the next day, but it's also plus 3 points. In total, it's 11 sanity to deal with. Alright, to dump. Down to 3, potentially. See you guys next time. Very soon.